Hey YouTube, Red15 here, bringing you another video going over the different XCs archetypes we have in Duel Links that have XC support. Now, basically, we got 4 more archetypes to go over here, and we also going to have one more video in this series where I'm going over archetypes and Duel Links still, but they only have like 1 XCs or the monsters kind of work with them. Now, I'm not saying that we get these on day 1 of Zexal when it comes out on the 29th, but I'm saying we could see these cards, possibly. But anyway, the first archetype we have is DDDs. And if you didn't know, DDDs is an archetype that basically can do any summoning mechanic with ease, with the greatest of ease. But anyway, let's go over their XYZ monsters. So, alright. Now for DDDs, the monsters we have, which is one of the main ones, is DDD Duo Don King Kalayuga. And right now this card is locking down in the TCG. Even if people think pendulums are dead, there's a pendulum deck going around. I will have a link in the description for the YouTuber that I saw that video from. But they go into Kalyuga and locking down the most competitive boards currently at the moment in the TCG. But DDD Dual Don King, I'm just gonna say Cal Yoga, so I don't have to say that whole thing. He takes 2 level 8 double D monsters. After this card is XC summoned for the rest of this turn, other cards and their effects cannot be activated. So right off the back, when he's summoned, the field is locked down. He's the only one using his effect. And then once per turn, during each player's turn, you can detach one of the cards you used to summon him from this card and destroy all spell and trap cards on the field. So 2 times in the game you can wipe back row, and then you can detach 1 XC's material from this card, then target 1 dark contract with spell / trap card in your graveyard and set the target. So he also recover your contracts, meaning you can get your contract with the Gate King back, and sorry, just 8. Let me think what else is King of the Strong, and contract with the Wits back in Duel Links at least. Okay, let's move on to the next one. And we got Stone King Darius. He takes 2 level 3 Fiend types, so he's generic enough for you to use any Fiend monster in Duel Links. But anyway, let's keep going. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can detach 1 XC's material from this card, then target 1 dark contract you control, destroy it, and if you do, draw 1 card, so he's a free +1. If this card battles an opponent monster during the damage calculation, you can detach 1 XC material from this card and make this card unable to be destroyed by battle. And then after damage calculation, and if you do, inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent. Okay, so he protects himself and your opponent takes damage. And it doesn't say those effects. Oh wait, nope. At the very top, once per turn. Or it's just the top half of his effect is once per turn, and the rest is can go anytime. Well, at least as long as he has the 2 monsters used to summon him. But moving on, I got Wave High King Caesar, which okay, no, that was Darius you just went over. So I'm thinking, yeah, that's the regular Caesar, but let's go to the upgraded form first. He takes 2 level 6 Fiend type monsters, and then when a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated that includes an effect that spell summons a monster, Blue Eyes, Lunar Lights, Neos, Invoker, okay, you can detach 1 material from this card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. When you make one of them DD monster you control, and this card gains 1,800 attack until the end of this turn. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 dark contract from your deck to your hand. He's a really good searcher for DDDs, because right now with the way I have DDDs built in Duel Links, I tend to brick sometime in my first hand, which won't help me get him out any faster, but still. He will help me search the contracts I need to go into those big plays. Okay, so now we have Marksman King Tell. He takes 2 level 5 monsters, so he's generic. He can be used in any deck. I can basically do level 5s, but I see DDD, so you might have to throw in another DDD XE's monster. But when this card is XC summoned, this card by using a rank 4 DDD XC's monster you control has XC material. See, this once per turn, you during either player's turn, if you took any effect damage this turn, you can detach one XC material from this card. You can target one face-up monster on the field. It loses 1,000 attack and defense, and if it does, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. So this will be an okay start off with DDDs and Duel Links, because basically he's saying each time you take damage from your contracts, because that's going to be the main way you take damage unless you get Lava Go. Well, in Duel Links, Lava Golem's getting eroded, so his Lava Golem can't really help us with that anymore. But now that I'm also thinking, Lava Golem would kind of be a double-edged sword for people in XC format. If you're able to like get another, say, level 8 out, if I'm right about Lava Golem, let me check that real quick. Because now I just want to make sure I'm right. Yeah, Lava Golem level 8. Yeah, if basically someone just end up getting another level 8 out in DDDs, they can ditch the Golem for a free XC's monster. Matter of fact, they can ditch it for Kalyuga. But anyway, oh no, he takes 2 DDD monsters, so they couldn't sack him like that. But anyway, that's just a fun idea that you can basically take advantage of Lava Golem being put on your field. But we got one more DDD to go over, and that's the original Wave King Caesar. He takes 2 level 4 Fiend monsters, generic material basically. During either player's turn, you can detach 1 XC material from this card at the end of the battle phase. Plus 7 from your graveyard has many monsters destroy this card this turn as possible. But during your next standby phase, take 1,000 damage for each monster spell summoned by this effect. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 dark archetype card from your deck to your hand. Alright, so this card is alright. But anyway, so that's the DDD monsters we have in Duel Links. Well, that we could see in Duel Links. So let's move on to the next one. So, okay guys, the next archetype we're going over is Boojins. Now, I kind of feel bad because I completely forgot about this archetype. And now, I used to run them in like, I'm trying to remember the PS3 game for Yu-Gi-Oh! Millennium Duels. And I used to rock them with the Firefish deck. It was a good combination because they got buff from the different fire formation spells and traps. But yeah, I can't really tell you what that's what I'm supposed to do effect, because across the board most of them have effects that's like discard a card, special summon or something along those lines, and or banish a card and deal damage. But anyway, let's go look at the XC's monsters. So right now we have Amaterasu. Okay, I'm pretty sure I heard that in the anime, but anyway, he takes 3 level 4 monsters. So in short, we're going to have to use all of our monster zones and Duel Links if we get this monster to even go into them. That or go into a rank 3 XC's monster and rank up magic, but don't know when we get into rank up magic, so. But anyway, you can only control 1 of Amaterasu once per turn. During either player's turn, you can detach 1 XC material from this card. This effect depends on whose turn it is. If it's doing so, his effect basically depends if it's your turn or your opponent's turn. But if it's your turn, you can target one of your banished level 4 or lower monsters and spell summon that target. But if it's your opponent's turn, you can target one of your banished level 4 or lower monsters and add that target to your hand. So probably be best to use this effect on your turn, because on your opponent's turn the card just get added to your hand, and that doesn't really do anything. Oh wait, if we would get this, then Kite Royd would be abused. Because just think about it, you just block 2 attacks with your Kite Royd, goes to your opponent's turn. Well, you do your best to protect yourself, goes to your opponent's turn. Then once your opponent's turn, you use his effect and get the Kite Royd you just banished and add it back to your hand to get ready to block more attacks. So he can be used for like a weird stall tactic in Duel Links if you got him. But anyway, on to the next one. Okay, here we have Kagatuchi. Yeah, I probably butchered that. But anyway, he takes two level 4 Beast Warrior type monsters. So the only day I can think of that we have in Duel Links that could possibly use him, it would be the Gladiator Beast. But anyway, when this card is XC summon, send the top 5 cards of your deck to the graveyard or your entire. Oh, okay, if less than 5 cards. Sorry, I was getting Light Sworn flashbacks. But anyway, that's only if you have less than 5 cards, send your entire deck to the graveyard. But also, this card gains 100 attack for each Bujin card sent to the graveyard by this effect. If a Bujin Beast Warrior type monster you control would be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can detach 1 XC material from this card instead of destroying one of those monsters. You can only control 1 copy of this card once per turn. Okay, now this one's pretty good. We have 30 card deck limits in Duel Links. So I can see like a weird light sworn mix with him, but okay, we got this is the last one right here. Uh Susan no He takes 2 level 4 Bujins, so you have to play him in Bujins or happen to run a few of them in your deck. But this card can attack all monsters your opponent control once each. Once per turn, you can detach 1 AC material from this card and take 1 Bujin monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. You only control 1 copy of this card on the field. So that's all our Bujins. Let's go on to the next archetype. Okay, the next archetype we have, which was actually in the leaks for a level, well, not level reward, a get reward for the character, not Tori, not Yuma. Yeah, come on, thinking. I'll be right back, because I know his name. I just cannot think of it off the top of my head, though. Let me see. Cause like every time I try to think of his name right now, it just keep on popping in my head, Trant. And I know that's wrong. Bronk. It's because it rhymed. Okay. But anyway, we had got windups leaked as a get reward for Bronk. And let's go into Duel Links and see which ones we could be getting. Not Duel Links, Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro. But anyway, the wind-up monsters that we have that we could be seeing because we have wind-ups already in the game is wind-up Arsenal Zen Mao. But he takes 2 level 5 monsters. Once per turn, you can detach 1 XC material from this card and target 2 set cards on the field and destroy them. This will be a very powerful card, depending on what you're going against. And if your opponent don't think about, like, you know, actually activating the card before you pop it, that's besides the point. On to the next one. Okay, this one takes 2 level 4 monsters, so he's generic enough to be used in any deck. This card gains 300 attack for each XC material attached to this card. Once per turn, you can detach 1 XC material from this card to target 1 face-up monster you control. Change that face-up monster to face-down defense position, and if you do during the end phase of this turn, change it to face-up attack position. Okay, so since he takes 2 level 4s, the best his attack points is going to get to is 2,500. Now, immediately when I read this effect before, I was thinking that we could probably use this in the not Behemoth, the Subterra deck, because basically you could go into 2 level 4 monsters, summon him. On your next turn, just go into a Subterra, flip it up, get its effect off, use his effect, flip it back down, pass the turn, his effect triggers, it gets flipped up, its effect activates again. Like he could be like a really fun way to abuse sub-terrors. Okay, and the next one we have here is okay. Wind up Zenmanis. I can't pronounce that. But anyway, he takes two level 3 monsters. If this face of card on the field would be destroyed, you can detach one XC material from this card. Instead, once per turn during the end phase, if this effect was used this turn, target one card on the field and destroy it. So basically, he's in a sense a better Utopia. But he can block up to 2 attacks, and if he does, well, he can block up to 2 of your monsters being destroyed. And if he does that, you can destroy a card on your field or on the field. And before I drop this archetype off, there is one more wind up that I'm completely doubtful we will ever get because currently it is banned. And this is Carrier's Zenmati. He takes 2 level 3 Xyz monsters, or 2 level 3 monsters. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from the cards, special summon 1 wind up monster from your hand or deck. Then when they face a wind up monster on the field is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, except during the damage step, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card to target that monster. Return that target to the hand. So this card is powerful. I can understand why it's banned, especially with how the current game goes. Like in the TCG, you could use this for a lot of special summons, and then on top of that, go into a link summon and just keep the plays going. So I understand why this card is kind of banned, but we got one more archetype to go over before I end the video off here, and let's go check them out. Okay, the last and final archetype that we have to go over, which technically should be in the last part of the series, but I decided why not, because that video is going to be way shorter than this one, is Spellbooks, aka Prophecy. Now, from my understanding, Spellbooks was a very powerful deck in Duel Links at one point, but besides that, they mainly rely on the spell cards and of course spellcasters. But let's go look at the Xyz monsters that we could possibly see in Duel Links that could make them top tier again. Alright, here we are, and like I said, there's only 2 of them this go around. And that will be... I see, I'm not even going to attempt that. I was thinking that in my head, but I'm like, nope, not going to happen. But anyway, this one right here is a Dark Spellcaster, 2 level 7 Spellcaster type monsters needed to summon them. So hey, Dark Magician, there you a free Xyz monster right there. But anyway, once per turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, destroy spell and trap cards your opponent control up to the number of spellbook spell cards in your graveyard. So if you want to run like a Spellbook Dark Magician deck, or if you're going to use the Spellbook of Power, I believe it's card, and Dark Magician, then hey, you can pop 1 spell and trap card on your opponent's field for free. And also, wait, let me see. No, okay, you don't get it back, but that's besides the point. The point is that you basically got a free Xyz monster that can pop background. And you can do that twice. So yeah. And the last Spellbook Xyz monster we have is Empress of Prophecy. This takes 2 level 5 Spellcaster type monsters. This card gains 300 attack for each Xyz material attached to a monster you control. Oh, to a monster. So it doesn't necessarily have to be her. Okay. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, shuffle your deck, then excavate the top 5. In other words, do what Light Swarms do and discard the top 5 cards of your deck. Destroy monsters on the field up to the number of spellbook cards. Well, discard it also. After that, place the excavated cards on top of the deck in any order. Now, to me, this one will be really powerful. But anyway, guys, that's all we have in this video for Xyz archetypes that we already have in Duel Links and their Xyz monsters. But anyway, I hope you enjoy and I will see you in the next part. But anyway, I'm out. Peace.